Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Are you behaving?
Yes, sir.
You do know we got practice right after this, right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody hear me all right out there?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bean, we ready to go? Let me let my brother take his seat. Been waiting on my good brother from another mother, Mr. Brian Bean. Y'all give Brother Brian Bean a hand as he's coming up. What's this going? Huh? Okay. All right. How's everybody doing? Thank you for all who is in attendance. Thank you for the panelists. Welcome to Boys and Man 2. 2 is represented. This is the actual second one. We plan to do them every, got me with that echo. Every 6 months is what we plan to do. And each one of them is growing. We're getting a lot of people that are attaching themselves, a lot of people that are being sponsors. So I think that deserves a round of applause in itself. Tell you real briefly about myself before I introduce the panelists. First of all, the Boys to Men event is exactly what it says, Boys to Men. We've got people from all sectors who walk through all doors in this world, but we're connected because we have a passion and a love for our community and our people. And we're able to bring different aspects and different information and implement them into these young men. First of all, if I could have let's just have all of the children stand up if you could for me. Definitely we should give them applause, parents. All the children, all the little people in the house. All the little people in the house, stand up, little buddy.
Stand up.
Very good, very good, very good. Y'all can have a seat. This particular section is the UC Eagles 8 and under football team. This is Ronald Bridges Park Rec, Union City Park here. I have been coaching here for 3 years now. Coach Cersei, if you could raise your hand, be acknowledged. Coach Cersei is one of the assistant coaches here. And, you know, me and Coach Cersei have been together going on 3 years. And the special thing about that is that at least 75% of this roster, which involves 30 children each year, at least 75% of them, this is our 3rd year together. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with how they do in other communities up the hill and across the tracks. But they keep their children together, the coaching unit stays together, and you start building a family, and you can instill all type of family values. So I'm very happy to have a lot of people returning. Boys to Men, all walks of life coming together to instill in our children. We have civil rights icons, deaf poets, people's attorneys and people's champions, and also stars of reality shows. We've got first of all, we like to have fun here. So if your tie is a little tight, you know, unloosen it, right? If your shirt is buttoned a little too tight, unloosen it. The reason you see me dressed down is because as soon as this event is over, we will be hitting that field and getting ready for our season opening game tomorrow, right? That's definitely something good. If you notice the flyer, it says old school values for a new school mentality. And this particular theme was, what role does youth athletics play in our community? So if you see me dressed down, again, because it's because of practice, but in my walk of life, coming up in a single parent household, I was blessed to have my grandfather as a father figure. But, you know, coming up in my walk of life, growing up right here at Walker Park, really represented Old National is where I grew up, Westlake High School. A lot of my mentors dressed like this. Their pants might even be a little tighter and maybe a little shorter. Anybody come from the old school, you got coaching shorts. You know, a lot of my mentors at that point in time, you know, did deal in athletics. I was a fairly okay student. Brother Brian Bean, we both went to Westlake High School. Brian Bean just blasted me through the roof when it comes to academics back in those days. My point I'm trying to make is I connected with teachers, but coaches were really where I found a lot of my, let's just say, work ethics and outspokenness at the time. Now, again, I was blessed to have my grandfather, but no one in here, well, a couple of people in here know my grandfather. My grandfather was a very soft-spoken man. So one thing that you can see me doing on any day is maybe on stage with civil rights icons like Brother Beasley, and I will announce each one of them as I get ready to introduce them. Or something that I'm pretty proud about being able to do in this city is being the founder for the Atlanta chapter of National Action Network, which is Reverend Al Sharpton's organization, former president, but responsible for the acquisition of the Southeastern Regional Headquarters being put in this historical West End district. Now, that's an accomplishment in social justice and civil service. I'm a husband, proud father, but nothing really touched my spirit, man. Out of all the stuff that I've been able to do is these 3 years that I've been coaching these boys. I mean, that's real. Again, I can come from on stage in front of thousands and definitely feel a connection to our ancestors and a connection to what you're doing as far as continuing the movement, and that's great. But that's why I applaud these gentlemen who understand what I'm speaking about, for those particular engagements and functions, but then have the courage or the decency, I should say, to step in here on a small function, in front of, I guess, what you would call local folks, right? This isn't a major function. So, I mean, really, I want to take the time to make sure that we give it up to these people that are sitting here, because there's nothing like giving back when there's no cameras around or when the masses ain't around. If you can do that in this setting and do it in the other setting and be sincere about it, trust me, that really means a lot. So you guys should really give it up for that. I will introduce the panelists one by one, and I want my team to be able to introduce themselves, and then Red Storm, we will let you kick it off. Joe Beach, I'm going to introduce you last. Brother Ricky Brown. Brother Ricky Brown is the owner of Next Step Staffing Company. If anybody watches the news lately, he's really been on a terror as far as being an advocate here in the community. But Ricky Brown specializes, first of all, his staffing service places anybody, but he specializes in brothers who've got some blemishes on their records, right? Convicted felons get a very bad rap after they complete their time and pay their debt to society. They come home just as veterans do and are discriminated against, or that application is put in that other pile. Everybody know the other pile I'm talking about? So Ricky Brown, I'll let him talk more in just a minute about his advocacy work that he's been doing. But just know that I asked this brother to come, and he's a brother that's got a load on his plate, but he still took his time out, because giving back, I think, is probably the most important thing that he could possibly do. I'll skip over the ambassador right now, and this brother here, excuse me, Brother Red Storm. If any of you have seen HBO's Deaf Poetry Jam, if any of you have been to any other outings, they asked Brother Red Storm to, well, let me tell you why I asked him. I asked him to come and bring that fire. I can get suited and booted with the best of them, but I really like that realness. I like lyrics and people that deal with music and poetry that can give you a sense of realism. Straighten up, son. I'm sorry about that. That's my son. I gotta correct him. The people's attorney, the people's champion, and the star of Love and Hip Hop, Attorney Davis. I have been knowing this brother for a couple of years now, and we have a lot of mutual friends. He is definitely one of the ones that I'm speaking about that he's called upon. His schedule is probably tireless, but I always happen to bump into him, and that's one thing about us. If you truly are about the people and about the movement, you're going to see some of the same faces over and over and over again. But he is the co-partner of the Bozeman and Davis law firm, and let me tell you something. when you're out here fighting social justice, you really need you a law firm that you can call on and say, hey man, listen, we got a case over here. And if it's got merit, you know. But even if it doesn't have merit, you know, he can at least sit down with the clients and give them some legal advice. So I really appreciate him for that. And again, when you see people on the battlefield all the time, you know that their heart is true. So I'm sure Brother Bosley is going to be giving us some good information on how you interact with law enforcement. Anybody hear about the DeKalb shooting that just took place where the boy was accidentally shot in the elbow? Did we hear about that? And I know there was some procedural issues that I think could have taken place differently, but there's also some things on our end that we need to educate our children on how they deal with certain matters like that. This young brother right here, Jabir Donaldson, is a senior at Best Academy High School. Best Academy High School. He says the best. But when I picked him up today, he was a little upset that the Coretta Scott King Academy High School of Girls came over for a pep rally and then left right after. So I don't know how it's the best. But that's a whole other story. But this brother here is not just that. Let me tell you something. When you find youth that are engaged in advocacy, that, you know, really take it to heart to, you know, to continue uplifting our community. Let me tell you, when I was a senior in high school, I was going to say I was really worried about one thing, maybe two, but you know, athletics and other things at the time. So I wasn't as conscious as this young man is at this age. Did I say he's the president of National Action Network's youth chapter here in Atlanta? So we want to give it up to Brother Jabir Donaldson. My good buddy, my brother from another mother, Mr. Brian Bean. Mr. Brian Bean has actually got a business function that's in town this weekend, and he has taken the time out of his busy schedule. Me and Brian have been knowing each other since '89. So let me tell you something. If I was to sit here in front of you and just get, you know, very professional with me and Mr. Brian, even though we do handle our business, but you know, this is my brother, and you know, whenever he needs me, whenever, you know, I need him, you know, it's reciprocal. With the godfathers to each other's children. You know, he is the CEO of Mentor to Millions. It's his company, which he's having a function this weekend. I'll let him explain more about that. But me and this brother do all kind of speaking at elementary schools, middle schools, high schools. It just goes without saying, giving back to the community. And even though he graduated from Morehouse, we won't hold that against him. No, just teasing. He is one, absolutely, Morehouse is a great school. But he is one that he'll be speaking on not just the education through an institution, but self-education. I know he's really big on that. Last but not least, if you don't know this gentleman, I'm going to say it, he wouldn't say it. The reason that we're probably sitting in this rec center, the reason that we've got these nice fancy titles, the reason that we're able to continue to move forward as a people, not to mention African-American president and all of the whole nine. This man's been fighting for a long time, Mr. Joe Beasley. Joe Beasley deserves a round of applause. This practice in preseason has been paying off, that we know what we are doing, that we know where we belong on the field. You know where you belong on the field? Okay.
My name is Langston Roxon, and I'm 8, and my favorite subject is math and reading, and I play linebacker and receiver.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Well, those are some bright tennis shoes.
My name is Jordan Cheney, and I'm 8 years old, and my two favorite subjects in school are math and science. I play tight end and D-line.
Very good. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, Asbury. We got one more row. Hurry up. Let's go.
My name is Jariah Asbury. I'm 8 years old. My favorite subjects are math and science, and I play O-line.
Good. Hey, y'all gotta give it up on these math and science levels. I mean, that is what's up. I wonder if it's because I said you can't say PE. Let's go, Lil Soul.
My name is Rashad Soda. I play cornerback, and I'm 7 years old. And my favorite subject in school is math and science.
Let's go. If you notice, we've got 4 7-year-olds. This is an 8-year-old team, and as long as you're 8 by July 31st, that is the age group that you play. So I don't know if you noticed, Joshua said 9. He turned 9 after that date. So this is an older group of kids, and again, we got 4 7-year-olds. So for them to be playing up is pretty exceptional too.
My name is Christian Larry, and my 2 favorite subjects in school are math and reading, and I play receiver, corner, and tight end.
Very good. It's about time somebody said 3 positions, because some of you do play 3. Very good. Yeah, no, you did, Cersei. I'm sorry. Look at that. Social studies, huh? Already corrected.
My name is Seth Gamble, and my 2 favorite subjects in school are math and reading, and I play D-line.
Good. Very good. I think we got the last 2. We got the last 2, and Brother Storm, we're going to let you touch the mic, and then we're going to let the introductions happen.
I'm 8 years old, and I play D-line and O-line. My favorite subject in school is math and social studies.
Math and social studies. Give it up for all those kids, please. You have to have good used to public speaking, used to being in front of crowds, used to getting the jitters up off of them. Everybody agree? Yeah. Very good, sir. Very good.
How y'all doing? I'm good? Yeah. All right, my name is Red Storm, and I'm from Chicago, Illinois. Born and raised in Chicago. I'm a 3-time HBO Deaf Poet, seasons 4, 5, and 6. I've performed and opened up from everybody to Rick Ross to Yolanda Adams to Jesse Jackson in Operation Push to John Legend. I've done it all, but I've also spent 13 and a half years in prison, and I've also done enough narcotics for everybody in this room. So I take all my stardom lightly, because I'm one mess up from being right back where I was. So I take all that stardom in the lights real lightly. I am the voice of the voiceless. I speak for the unspoken, and I love those through my music until they learn how to love themselves. See, I got a little monster in the box, and every time I do one of these shows, I put another lock on the box, because he's trying to get out and get me. He don't want me talking to these kids. He want me lined up talking about cell bars open and step out, close your bars. That's where he want me at. So through poetry and what I do, and through Ephesians chapter 2, verse 8 and 9, I live. Through grace you saved by faith. It is not of your doing. You may not boast of it. It is a gift.
Amen.
I lived through that. So, I'm gonna give you this little poem and I'm gonna rewound with some more stuff about what you say, athletics, and this is what this is about? Yes, sir. Okay. What if King didn't get shot? Would he have been the first black president before the Lord blessed us with Barack? And what if Malcolm would have stayed dirty red? Would his speeches have meaning or just some hot air? And what if Harold Washington didn't drink that coffee? Would he still be here? Would they still try to off him? And what if Tupac ain't take Suge Knight's offer? Would he be in Rikers Island, writing about his charges? Would Big be notorious without Puff Daddy? Would a pimp be a pimp without the women in the caddy? Would Beyonce be on top if Aaliyah didn't fly? Would TLC be out if we didn't lose Left Eye? What if Arthur Ashe had an earlier chance to catch it? Well, you've been at seminars standing next to magic. And what if Liam Byers didn't die from that habit? Well, he been at practice dunking on Robert Parrish. And what if heart problems never happened? Will we see Reggie Lewis or that boy Hank Gathers? And what if you thought it didn't matter? What if Jam Master Jay was still scratching? What if 50 Cent didn't happen? Would Ja Rule and Ashanti still be platinum? Hey. What if it wasn't no rapping? What if Denzel and Samuel wasn't acting? What if Richard Pryor never started joking? And what if Red Storm never stopped smoking? From Maya Angelou to Oprah Winfrey, Cicely Tyson helped duplicate black history. Back down memory lane, Minnie Riperton, Shirley Murdoch singing As We Lay. Pam Grier looking foxy in here, Gladys Knight with her pips on that midnight train to Georgia. Always a good time with Florida Evans. She taught values and she leaned towards heaven. Aretha Franklin, Tina Turner, Whitney Houston, they all deserve awards, they always producing. Jada Pinkett Smith, Gabrielle Union, Nia Long, Vivica Fox, they stay beautiful. Like Sojourner, bring the truth to this room, part like Rosa, and learn what to do. When Debbie Allen dance, your dreams come true. Just make way when these ladies come through, like from Layla Hathaway to Billie Holiday. Lena Horne, Natalie Cole, they get it on. The real dream girls every time they perform. Strong like Ella Fitzgerald, sound good over horns. Strong like Grace Jones, feisty like Eartha Kitt. Strong like Della Reese, the type I like working with. Angela Bassett got her groove back, but Winbush, I'll make you smile on that smooth track. From Megan Good to Stacey Dash, Vanessa Williams, Mariah Carey, and Halle Berry. I love these women. Whoopi Goldberg, Louise Jefferson, Felicia Rashad always got the right medicine. On that mother love, you know, so heaven sent. Like Mahalia Jackson, I can't forget. Shirley Caesar and Albertina Walker, Yolanda Adams, I'ma always support them. That's that piece right there.
Y'all give it up for that brother one more time. Oh, give it up, give it up. See all the way down there, Versace, all that over there. Y'all give it up for the lyrics right there. That's the one thing, you don't know what you're gonna get hit with when you're messing around with us. I know some folks, they ain't gonna admit it, but they judge it. What's that boy doing on the panel? So you got to talk about. Take a village, that's what they say. We're going to pass it to the people's attorney, because I know you might be on a tight schedule. So we're going to let you have the mic, brother. Y'all give it up for Attorney Davis.
How's everybody doing? What, 3 minutes? 3 quick minutes. We're going to go quick and hard. Let me tell you the importance of sports in my life. My father was a Harlem Globetrotter, so he was he played at Tennessee State when John B. McClendon was the coach there, who's now in the Basketball Hall of Fame. But it's interesting they have him in the Hall of Fame as a contributor and not as a coach. But he took the first African-American colleges to win a national championship, but he's in as a quote-unquote contributor. But young men, I just want to tell y'all something about what I learned about life through sports. My father, when he was in and out, because he was in and out of my life, but one of the things that he talked about was work ethic. The reason that we win cases and the reason that people hire us is that we just try to outwork them. Y'all practice every day?
Yes, sir.
Do y'all practice hard?
Yes, sir.
And if you don't practice hard, what happens is when it's time for the game, when you step out, like tomorrow, if you haven't practiced hard, it's gonna show.
Absolutely.
And so all we try to do in our practice of law, and that's what it's called, the practice of law, is we try to outwork these big law firms that myself and my law partner came from, because we just love our people so much that we want to win every case we get. And so the message for you all, and I hope you all heard my man Red Storm from Chicago, which is where I'm from, is that you have to just go, get it, work hard, and be focused on what you want out of this world. I'm gonna just tell the parents, because it's important for you all to hear this. we have to just give our young people some language that they can disengage from some bad influences. And so one of the things that we try to teach our young people is that we know no one wants to nowadays be called a lame or a chump or whatever the slang is for a nerd, all of that. And so to help them with that, one of the things that we try to share is if a young person is going to get them doing something that they shouldn't be doing, is to tell them what to say. Well, somebody tells you, how many of you all parents, how many of you all have told your children if somebody comes up and tries to take them away, what they're supposed to do? Have y'all told them about that? Right? How many of y'all have told your children about how to deal and interact with police? All right? So one of the things that we say in terms of interacting with police is, one, don't run. The days from running from folk is over. Don't run. We don't need to run from police. We don't need to run from anybody. We need to be able to teach our young people how to stand their ground.
That's right.
Right? Y'all familiar with that term? Just stand your ground, but don't run, because running has resulted in a lot of young people getting shot, getting chased down by the police, beaten. Just stand your ground. If you're going to jail, you're going to jail. If you're getting in trouble, you're getting in trouble, but don't run. That's the message that we have to just send across. The second thing we have to tell our young people when they're interacting with the police is that for right now, they're the ones with the badge and the gun. Respect that.
That's right.
Don't bow down to it, but respect that. Don't put yourself in a position where you say, oh, I know my rights, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. That's not the place for that. Let us have those conversations when we get them in the courtroom and we ask them, why did you stop this young man? Right now we have 14 civil rights lawsuits going because the police falsely arrested someone or they used excessive force. Give us a chance to just do what we do. Don't try to do that on the street, because you're going to lose. Everybody all right?
Yep.
And then the third piece is when we're dealing, another thing that we want to tell our young people in dealing with police is just ask them, am I free to go? That's the question. Can I call my parents? And that's the kind of communication that they have to first know. I've got parents that are interested in you stopping me and talking to me and harassing me. We just had a young man, and I think we're going to take on his case. His mother's a PhD, his father's a lawyer, but they don't care anything about that out on the street. They just saw a young African-American boy walking through a neighborhood. They told him to stop and get down. What do you think he asked them? Why? Why do I have to, as I'm walking through this neighborhood, why are you telling me to get on the ground face down? And so when he asked that question, the officer just took him, threw him down, put his knee in his back, put handcuffs on him. And so we're going to be able to address that through the legal system. And you all saw the DeKalb County family. They came in the middle of the night in DeKalb County, busted in, and one of the young brothers had the presence of mind of just telling his younger brother, just say the Lord's Prayer. Just say the Lord's Prayer, because what they're doing is just demon. I mean, they're just in this family's house for no reason. So we're working on that case. So I just want to share with you all, and particularly young men, is that your parents are here. This is the most beautiful event that I've been to in a long time, because you all are here. You all are the ones that all of this is about, because you are the legacy. And to see each one of you stand up and be able to say your name and to speak and to be articulate, this is what we have to model. Every program, young adult sports program across the city should have to do this very same thing. But unfortunately, because I've coached AAU ball, my sons are 13 and 15 and they still play AAU, I know what it is. There are parents who just want their kids to just be the next LeBron, to do what's healthy for us. And it has shown that that's in the best interest of the whole world. When we do what we believe in and we know is right and is consistent with our values, then our children turn out all right. And we don't look up and say, man, why did this kid pull out a gun to take somebody's cell phone? That's what's happening. 3 of those My son called me on Friday, and then I'm gonna sit down. Friday night, my son called me. We gotta listen to our children. My son called me. He's at the game. He's real excited because we just moved so he can walk home from the game. So that was a big deal, right? So he's in 10th grade. And so he calls me, he says, Dad, can you pick us up? So I was like, man, you ain't, you know, I said, man, you ain't gonna walk? You know, you just 2 blocks away, you ain't gonna walk? And then he just came back and said, it's kind of hot. That's all he said. I said, I'm on the way. Went over there and got him, picked him up, then, you know, I was like, everybody good? I saw some kids running around, I stepped out, right? Because that's what we have to do as men.
That's right.
The kids running around chasing each other. No, hold up, son, stop. I don't even know you. Right? But I'm gonna impose my will as a man and say, I'm not gonna let you do madness in front of me.
Right.
I'm just gonna stop you here. Now you may take it down the street, but you won't do it in front of me.
That's right.
So we gotta have that. And so we go home, you know, I'm like, man, I'm glad you called me. Right? I wanted to encourage, keep calling me, you know, because there's gonna come a time when somebody's gonna be drunk and they're gonna want you to get in the car with them, and you need to call me in the middle of the night, or somebody's gonna want you to do something. The next morning we found out 3 kids had been armed robbed in Decatur, walking home that same night. So we gotta listen to our young people. And young people, it's all about us just keeping you all alive and growing and thriving. So don't worry about somebody saying, man, you a punk for riding home with your father. I don't care nothing about that.
Speak on it.
I just want to get you home. And then we can go from there. I'm glad, I appreciate Brother Coleman and his family. The beautiful thing is his mother's here, his wife, his sons. It's all about family. That's why we're in the condition that we're in, is that so many of us have forgotten about family. That when people come and see me, by the time they come to see me, the whole family is all kind of busted up. And we have to keep these families together to get out of the way, work through it. And I know we didn't have grandmamas and grandfathers that you like, how they stay together? They stay together. So we got to figure that out and do it in a healthy way. I appreciate you all. I'm going to sit. I'm going to stay as long as I can because I want to hear from these brothers. And again, I just appreciate the opportunity to speak to you young men. You all are blessed to have parents that are here, to have these coaches, Coach Cersei, the fact that these 2 men are giving up their time. And I tell this last little story. I played baseball at first, and I played in this Southeast Little League. And one time, I saw my coach, and he was working at a Goodyear, and he had on a Goodyear uniform. And I came in there and I said, Coach, what you doing? He's like, I'm working. All that time, all I thought Coach did was coach. I didn't know he had another job. I thought his job was coach. So I want you young brothers to know that these brothers are doing other things, but they're making time because they love you all. So just keep listening and keep working hard. And everything that you see that has been accomplished by these men, you're going to be standing on our shoulders, so you're going to accomplish this plus one. All right? God bless y'all.
I got another assistant coach that just stepped in, Coach Lockhart. You can raise your hand. Everybody give it up for Coach Lockhart. Come here, CJ. You got to do what everybody else did. Name, age, position, 2 favorite school subjects.
My two favorite school subject is science and math. I'm 8 years old. My name is Robert Christian Lockhart III. What position I play is wide receiver,
Go ahead.
fullback, and that's all.
Plays much more than that. Very good. Oh, come up here, Parham. I'm sorry. My fault, Parham. Attorney Davis asked, did we practice every day? Everybody said yes. You said no. You didn't think I heard that, did you? We practice Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I got you.
My name is Ali Parham, and I play middle linebacker. And my two favorite subjects in school are math and social studies.
Very good, very good. Hold on just one second. Real quick, I like what you had to say, Attorney Davis. Coaching. I can remember, I had a couple of little league coaches, but one sticks out, Coach Hill. High school coaches. Coach Allen, Westlake High School. College coaches. Coach Hunter from Clark Atlanta University and Coach Crosby at Morris Brown. These coaches stick out to this day. All my team need to sit their backs to the seat, sitting up, sirs. Sitting up, sirs. Yes, sir. Paying attention. Coaching is such a vital part of the community. We're going to touch on some other subjects, but that is the base. Everyone in here I know, even some of the ladies, with athletics that you all have been involved in, it's the exertion, it's the teamwork, it's the camaraderie. If there are any other coaches in here, please take that super serious, because here on this team, we even critique other coaches. We don't allow none of that language at this 8-year-old level. But we sure instill respect, teamwork, no fighting amongst each other. And we see, Coach Lockhart and Coach Thurston can attest to this, we see the opposite of that where we go sometimes. We see some of the other coaches and the way that they talk to their children at this level. At this level. I mean, it's sad. These children, some of them are coming from households that aren't as structured and stable, right? And then they get here on this coaching field and they're talked to and they're treated in such a nasty way. And our generation is really responsible for that, man. And when we were coming up, you pretty much got snatched. No matter what team you played for, what age group, you got snatched. And that's what I do, that's what Coach Lockhart does. There was a 14-year-old not too long ago that was slacking on laps, right? I coach 8. So he's slacking on laps and he's gonna slack right in front of me. So what I do, I'm a smaller dude in stature, so a 14-year-old, he's up here. So I pulled him to the side. And for a quick second, that little boy wanted to have an attitude with me. I said, man, straighten up, do what you're supposed to do. For a quick second, he was gonna try me. But what did I have to do? Stood right there. You can't back down from these children. Too many of us are scared of these kids. I mean, really scared of these kids. You say you're not, but y'all, you see something that you know you should say something about, and you don't. Now, I ain't gonna get on my soapbox on that, because I know that's not for everybody. But here's the sad part about that reality. If we don't take it upon ourselves as a community, how you think it's gonna stop? It ain't never gonna stop. The language that they use in front of you ain't gonna stop. The disrespectful behavior, we ain't even got to the little narrow behinds showing yet, but it ain't gonna stop unless you get your hands dirty. Let's hear from Brother Jabir Dawson.
I'm not as long-witted as the people on the panel right here, but athletics plays a big part in our community because I attend an all-boys school. Raise your hand if you want to go to an all-boys school. What? Wait till you get to high school. It's not as easy as people think it is, but the funny thing about it, we don't really fight each other or disagree much because we're all a big family, and that's much kind of like a team. What a team is, you don't really fight amongst each other. Also, we have specific leaders. The main thing in the NFL right now is who can lead the team. You have a good quarterback, you're good as a team. Also, hang with the right people. You're a good team, everything flows in a mechanical way. Nothing is wrong fundamentally. And hang with the right people. An eagle can't fly with the pigeons or the chickens. Eagles fly in the skies. So Hang with the right people. All right, I'll take I'll duplicate what successful people do. How you guys doing, gentlemen? All right, you guys know y'all see me usually at as many games as I can make, right, on Saturdays? Okay, let me just tell you guys this.
What's your name?
I'm Brian Bean, I'm sorry. Brian Bean, founder of Mentor to Millions. And Marcus is my best friend. This is my son's godfather. Chase is my godson. And I want you guys to understand something. Very early age. Repeat after me. I'm on the field.
I'm on the field.
With conviction, like you in the huddle. I'm on the field.
I'm on the field.
I've heard y'all do a huddle before. I'm on the field.
I'm on the field.
Let me tell you why you need to understand that. Because you guys may not understand this, but I'm gonna prove a point to you real quick. Then I'm gonna talk to the parents and I'm gonna sit down. Does coach yell at you sometimes?
Yes, sir.
All the time. Does Lockhart get on you sometimes?
Yes, sir.
Is Cersei upset with you sometimes?
Yes, sir.
But guess what? Cersei's cool, right? He's a cool guy. But guess what?
Balance.
You know what it all boils down to? You on the what? Field. But you on the field at all times. Say I'm on the field.
I'm on the field.
Let me tell you the point I'm getting at. I can give you 2 million kids that's not on the field. See, a lot of you guys get upset or sad or fuss and fight when somebody yell at you, somebody make you do 20 push-ups, somebody critique you, but you on the field. See, your job as a football player is to play what? Football. But the attitude you have on the field should stay with you when? Off the field. Everybody understand that?
Yes, sir.
Because there's a lot of kids that would love to be in your position and be on the field. But their parents don't have time. Their parents don't care. They don't have a coach who cares about them. Whatever the excuse may be, there are a million kids out here that wish they were where? On the field. I'm one of them. See, I grew up with both parents, all that good stuff. I grew up on both sides of the tracks, but here's the bottom line. See, you on the field, I wasn't. I was good in my neighborhood. That don't count. Legends in the streets don't count. I understand. I don't care how many documentaries you see on Pee Wee Herman. Street legendary status in the streets don't count. I didn't get a chance. My sport was basketball. I post all y'all up. Play like a grown man. Your shoes is ugly. What? So? I don't like your pants. What? So? Words don't mean nothing. I see so many of our kids get in trouble because somebody said something to me. Somebody said something to you. Here's the rule. If you aren't within arm's length, here's the rule, guys. What's out there belongs to you. What's in here belongs to me. So a person can say all they want to say from where? Out there. Long as you don't come within where? In here. So I'm not asking you to say so and just ignore everything. I'm asking you to be wise young men and make sound decisions. You can talk all you want from out here. As long as you don't come where? In here. Last thing I'm going to end with you guys, because always be cognizant of the fact that people are going to try you with their words, but words don't really matter. Because you always on the what? Field. You on the field. Parents, I'm going to say something, tell you this real quick, and I'm going to go. Listen to your kids. A lot of times we don't listen to our children, and children get taught to fib and to tweaking words. Y'all know another word for it. And they get taught that stuff, but for the most part, your kids are purely innocent. I got the call that most parents hate not too long ago, and here was the call. Mr. Bean, this is Miss So-and-so from such and such, Fulton County, so-and-so, such and such, all these long titles. I said, wait a minute, slow down. Are you the father of Makai? Yes. Slow down, who are you? This is such, so, Fulton County, so-and-so, such, such, are you Makai's father? Yes. Makai was involved in an incident. Really, we need to interview Makai. They want to interview my child. About what? We can't tell you.
Okay.
I said, do you know I have every news network up here? I called Mars and I might need to get them. My child witnessed a teacher tie up another student. My child was in class and a substitute teacher took another student who was being disobedient, took the sweater, like she had on a sweater, pulled it over her arms, and used the rest of the sweater to secure her to a chair.
they asked my child to come in and give a report on what he saw. I didn't hear about the incident until 4 months later. This investigation was 4 months later. My child didn't tell me. I was hot. I said, Makai, why didn't you tell me about what happened to Stephanie? He said, what happened to Stephanie? I said, Makai, I got a phone call that you have to do an interview because Stephanie was tied to a chair. Did he tie her to a chair? He said, yeah. I said, what else happened? She put the hood over Stephanie's head and she couldn't breathe. Tied to a chair, put the hood over Stephanie's head, and she couldn't breathe. I said, Makai, why didn't you come to me and tell me? I got on him because you guys, as young men and children, need to always speak up for injustice.
That's right.
Don't assume, like my son did, that somebody else probably gonna do something and take care of it. I told him, I said, son, we come from a family of leadership. When you see something like that, we stand up. Number one. Number two, parents, when your children tell you something, believe it. Believe it. They generally don't just come home making a whole bunch of stuff up. Sometimes it goes both ways. Y'all gotta tell us what's going on with you guys as young men, and parents, we gotta listen when they tell us what's going on as young men. Because last time I checked, communication went how many ways? 2 ways. I want y'all to stay on the field at all what? Somebody talk about you, what we say. And if anybody wants you to do something you don't want to do, you say what? No. No and so are complete what? They end with a period. Everybody got it? All right, I'll see y'all later.
Gentlemen, sit up, please. Sit up, gentlemen. Josh, let's sit right in our chairs. All this is for you. We're going to hear from Brother Ricky and then from Ambassador.
All right. How everybody's doing? I said, how everybody doing? All right. My name is Ricky Brown. I'm the president and CEO of a company called Next Step Staffing. We're a staffing agency that assists ex-offenders and veterans to find jobs and housing. And the reason I started my company in 2010 because I'm an ex-offender. I served 13 years in prison off a 15-year sentence. And I found myself facing the same issues as the men and women that I help on a daily basis. And a lot of people don't know the statistics of ex-offenders, convicted felons, whatever you want to call them. 600,000 ex-offenders, convicted felons are released from prison every year, state and federal, nationwide. Did y'all hear that number? 600,000 are coming out of prison nationwide, state and federal, 600,000. And if that statistic is true, then that simply means that we have more ex-offenders, convicted felons on the streets of America than we have in the U.S. Armed Forces combined. We are now the majority. Well, y'all didn't hear that. We are now the majority. There's nothing cute about it. Ain't nothing sexy about it. And it all starts with these young men right here. And it's where we gotta start, right here. I'm humbled today to be here, to be in front of these young men right here. And I want to just give these great young men, these are future leaders right here. Give them a great big round of applause. I don't know if any of you saw the news story that came on Fox 5 News a couple of weeks ago with Marsh Diggs on my company. I told a story of a young man who came to my office about 18, 19 years old. And he heard about our company, he heard about me and what I do. And he came in my office, he came straight by the secretary, she came running behind him, scared. I said, let him in. He saw down, he said, Mr. Rick, I'm tired, man, I'm tired. He picked up his shoulder, he showed me his pistol. He said, Mr. Ricky, if I don't get a job today, I'm going to get me. I said, what? He said, I'm going to get me. He said, man, I'm tired, I'm hungry, won't nobody give me no job. He said, here's my pistol right here. I talked to that young man, was able to talk him out of his pistol, put it in my drawer. I'm an ex-offender. I'm a convicted felon. I don't supposed to be around guns. But I had to. So I was able to talk that young man out of his gun and put it in my drawer. And I got on the phone and I called a friend of mine with a construction company and I said, I need you to help me. I need you to help me get this young man a job. And he did. This young man's still working to this day. He came back to my office a couple of weeks later and he was happy, enthusiastic. He said, Mr. Ricky, thank you, man. Reached in his pocket, he had a knot. He said, man, I got money now, Mr. Rick. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I reached over there and I said, man, you want your pistol back? He said, man, no, I'm a convicted fella. I don't think you're on no gun. But that simple act could have probably saved that young man's life or somebody else's life. It really did. Because that day, that young man was going to do whatever he had to do to survive. And we're faced with that today. And when we have children like these young men, we've got to coach them. People like me and Marcus and all these gentlemen, we've got to talk to these young men and listen to them. Because if I hadn't took the time to listen to that young man, he probably would be dead today. He may have. We don't know. I want to tell you a story. Which one of y'all two want to come up here? Give me two young men. Give me two. You two come here. I'm going to tell you a story. You stand right here. You stand right here. I went to high school. I played football, pretty good at it. And I was a friend of mine, very good friend of mine. Y'all pray for him. By the name of Otis Nixon, played baseball for the Atlanta Braves. We grew up together, like these young men. We grew up together, lived next door to each other. We used to run, race. Believe it or not, I could outrun Otis back in my day. And he was fast. And I saw him outrun Deion Sanders. I saw him do it. But the story is about two young men. I was in radio. I started in radio when I was about 15 years old at the local radio station in North Carolina. And so I was a little popular guy and get off the school bus right in front of the radio station and I would be the afternoon DJ. And so I was kind of popular. Otis was, let's say this is Otis. This was Otis. Otis was very popular too. Played baseball, football, basketball, was very good. Him and his brother, Donnell Nixon. And here's Ricky, right here. Okay? Now, Ricky went on to be a DJ, very popular DJ, but after a while, Ricky decided to get off track. Decided to leave radio, move to Atlanta, become a DJ in Magic City. I mean, y'all remember, the older folks remember the song Doodoo Brown back in the day? Well, I'm Doodoo Brown. They don't, young folks don't remember, some of the old folks might remember Doodoo Brown. But Ricky, which one is Ricky? Who's Ricky? You Ricky? You Ricky. This is Ricky. Ricky went on to become a DJ, but he got off track. When he moved to Atlanta, he got into drugs, got into the street life, robbing, selling drugs, ended up going to prison for 13 years. That's what Ricky did. Go over there, Ricky. Go with the police. Ricky went over there with the police. Went with the police. He was gone for 13 years. Here's Otis. Otis was still playing baseball. Very successful. Yeah. Very successful. Knocking them out the park, running, jumping over the fence, catching baseballs, stealing bases. He was good. All that while, Ricky was still in prison. All that while. But guess what? God is good. All the time. So while Otis was still playing baseball, Ricky in prison, Ricky ended up getting out of prison. Come on back. Ricky gets out of prison. Ricky couldn't find a job. Ricky couldn't get nobody to help him, couldn't have clothes on his back. So what Ricky did, he created his own job, helping people like him. How about that? And when Ricky came out, And doing that and being successful with his own company, Ricky, I went in prison, I thought about it, I said, listen, if I could just get companies to put 300 people to work, like me, if I could charge a company on an average of, let's say, $15 an hour, and I'd give the guys $10 an hour, and I keep 5 as a company. They work 8 hours a day. 5 times 8 is what?
40.
There you go. 40 times 300 is what? 12,000. 40 times 300 is $12,000 a day if they're working every day. I know I have. Ricky has learned from his mistakes. And now we can come out here and we could be successful men and we could be productive members of society. So God bless you. And always remember, failure is not an option. God bless you.
For those of you that were coming in late, this is a Union City 8-year-old team, and each one of them have given their name, ages, 2 favorite subjects, and their offensive and defensive position. So, Brother Jerome and Mr. Dillon, we got to hear from you. Name, age,
I'm Jamal Jerome. I'm 8 years old. My 2 favorite subject is art. Playing games and playing football. That is science. I play an offensive line and defensive line.
Let me tell you something about Mr. Jerome Jr. At our last jamboree, our last preseason game, Mr. Jerome suffered a bad asthma attack before the game, so we didn't allow him to play, and actually was hospitalized. But as soon as that boy got out, he came to the field, medically cleared, and has been working his butt off prior to and since then. So that boy's got one of the biggest hearts on this team. So I think he deserves a little applause for that.
My name is Dylan Martin, and my 2 favorite school subjects are math and language arts. And I play corner and safety.
Very good, very good. Find that in the seat, please. Before we bring the honorary ambassador, Joe Beasley, up, I wanted you to know between Storm, between Brother Ricky, and myself, you got almost 40 years of prison time. Almost 40 years of prison time. You getting the mic back, brother. You getting the
I'm gonna go before.
Oh, no, I got it. No, we're not going to be finished. The way the format is going, each one of them is giving their opening statement, and then we're going to open it up, to the audience. So you're going to get the mic. But just speaking on that prison real quick, and then my boys look at me, because it's set up for y'all to go. 1 out of 3. Sit back, Chase, Khalil. That means Jermaine, Khalil, and Chase. 1 out of 3 will be on probation or in prison. Joshua, Eric, Cersei, Silvio, 1 out of 3. You got 2 on this row, they're going to be part of the system. That's real. That's real. And let me dare not to say this. All of them are not going to be guilty. I know when you turn on the news and the anchors, they get paid to read that teleprompter and it sounds real good. But it's a lot of things that are missing from that story. And I'm not condoning, criminal activity. There are some that do belong. There's some nasty cats out there that do terrible things. But this system in itself is a well-operated, nasty vehicle that is viciously putting a lot of us away who are innocent, or they are enhancing and up to partying on sentences just because of the color of our skin or the area that we live in. That's real. So it behooves all of us as parents, coaches, mentors, people in the community, to when we see a child, even if it's not our own, make sure that we reach out and cradle that child. Sydney, could you please stand, sir? I want to give Brother Sidney Wood. You can catch Sidney Wood on 1380, the voice of Atlanta. Doing an excellent job on talk radio. I can say it, he's not saying it. I'm glad he replaced Mo Ivory Sly because I like him much better. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think the brother's got more substance. Just that simple. She's doing good things. All right. Why not move out the way and let somebody. Never mind. I won't get on my soapbox on that. So we're gonna let the ambassador. You don't mind me calling you an ambassador. I just gave you that title, Dr. Joe Beasley. And then we're gonna open it up on 3 topics. We're gonna go to about 6:30 because we got started late. Then we do have practice. Brother Joe Beasley.
I'm 77, will be, so I'll take the prerogative to remain seated. I grew up just a short distance from here in Fayette County, in Fayetteville, actually in Inman, Georgia, on a plantation during a time when black people, like most of us in here, had no rights that had to be respected. As a matter of fact, when I was y'all's age, I was working every day. Because black folks work. So when I hear this lie that black men and black people are lazy, it's a flat out lie.
Sure is.
We worked for 240 years for free. And we were slaves, and all our descendants was going to be slaves. 6 months ago, I was on Gorée Island in Senegal, and I stood in the door of no return. And the idea was, when they took us out of Africa, they meant it, that was for real. You were not going to return. You would be brought into a foreign place and worked until you died. And then your children, because we had perpetual slavery, was going to work until they died. 6 months earlier, I was in Ghana, another door of no return. Our system is in a very ugly place. When you have young black men be shot down like a dog, and there's nothing done about it, it's a very ugly place. And so this notion that America the beautiful, that's a lie. I don't even though I'm retired from the Air Force, I spent 21 years in the Air Force, but I couldn't get another job. Matter of fact, Rick, if you don't have a record, if you're black in this country, all over this country, we talk about unemployment is at 7.something%. That's a lie. You're not counting us. Unemployment for young black men is more like 45% unemployed. And if you live in a capitalistic society, which means you need some money, and you don't got no money, you're in trouble. And so this notion, and perhaps during your lifetime, before you get as old as I am, maybe you can make America beautiful. Because she's a liar right now. And I was at the March on Washington a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, I guess. And I flew directly from Washington, D.C. to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. What did I go down there for? I went down there, 20 million Africans living in the Americas, 220 million. Most of us didn't come to the United States. Most of the slaves went to Brazil. So while we have 41 million here catching hell, we have 100 million in Brazil catching hell. I was just in Bogota, Colombia, about 3 months ago. I went down there because black leaders in Colombia 26% of that country is African. The black leaders in Colombia have been put on a hit list for assassination. They've actually murdered 2 such Christmas. So we on a hit list, and we got a black man sitting up in the White House. You see what he's doing, catching hell. And I'm not trying to put out a gloomy picture for you, but I think we need to deal with reality. You live in a place that don't really care too much about us.
Speak on it.
We haven't done anything. We haven't done nothing, so you don't have to feel guilty about it if you haven't done nothing. But if you show up looking like Ricky and anybody else sitting up here, yeah, you got a problem. So we need to tell our kids that you live in a society that kind of almost hates your black guts. And you're living in a society that you have to struggle. And I'm not suggesting violently, but you got to struggle. Because struggle for what? Keep out of jail. But he just counted you off, 1 of the 3, that's a fact. 1 out of 3 we're going to go to jail. We'll be in prison based on that statistic. And that's why I applaud Marcus for what you're doing, because these boys, they got the discipline. You tell them to sit up, they sit up. That kind of discipline will keep you out of trouble. You won't be that statistic and count off, because we're building prison, trust me, on that basis. Because it's a profitable thing. So there's a lot of issues. I'd love to be around, a long time. I'd love to be around, been around a long time. But this struggle is going to go on. And one reason why I think I can talk straight up to you all, because when I was out in the cotton field right down the road here in Fayette County, I was wide, very alert at 7 and 8 years old, very alert. And I didn't like it. I did not like it. And then I read about the Haitian Revolution, down in Haiti, where those black slaves rebelled and defeated the most powerful army in the world at that time. Napoleon Bonaparte of France was defeated by the black slaves in Haiti. And when we hear Haiti now, and Thomas Jefferson was the president of the United States when that rebellion happened. What did Thomas Jefferson do? He put a blockade on Haiti that has not been lifted yet. And so we wonder, why is Haiti the poorest country in the Western Hemisphere? That's why. And we live in a country that now because Obama is the president, and they decided some years ago that if a country used gas to kill their people, that they have to draw a red line. And so he's caught over between a rock and a hard place. The red line has been drawn, and so he said, we're going to have to kill people, we're going to have to attack. Now, what I'm suggesting, and I still do Facebook, I still Twitter, I do it all. And on my Facebook page, I posted, why don't we draw some other red lines in the world? Okay. Like, for example, if you see somebody hungry, see somebody sick, see somebody homeless, that's a red line. And if you got some humanity in you, you need to come see about the people. So this notion that, you kill and it doesn't solve anything. So I applaud you, Marcus, for what you're doing, your other coaches. I applaud you parents, for your diligence, your love. And to young people, the reason why you need to discipline, why you need all of this, because if you do something wrong, not only are you going to be in trouble, but you're going to break your mother and father's heart, your brothers and sisters. The fallout for this kind of stuff, it's very overwhelming. So what I've decided, a couple of things I decided. At 77, I still cover all the ground I stand on. The main is I can cover all the ground I stand on. Don't push me around. I think that we want children to feel the same way, and you can do it. But you can't do it if you say you're a convict, you're a criminal. You do that when you do some minor stuff. But if you get that scarlet letter that you're a criminal as well as a black person in this country, you're in trouble. Now let me suggest this, and I'm glad I'm living in the United States, because there's a lot of struggles here, and I'm up to the fight. And that's why I like Marcus Coleman, he's up to the fight. That's why I like this man, he's up to the fight. I haven't met Red, like this, what he said, he's up to the fight. This brother's up to the fight. That lawyer just left, he got me out of jail. I just got out of jail. Yeah, no, I'm still pending. I'm going again. Yeah, but I wasn't going for unrighteousness. I was going because I'm standing up for people that can't stand up for themselves. He's a lawyer that's going to stand up for me. He's a good lawyer. And he told you, stand your ground, don't run. These cops out here in Union City will shoot you down like a dog or rabbit in the street. I won't go further. And I can, let me suggest this to you. I've been growing up down there on that plantation in Fayette County. I was mad. I've been mad 77 years. But I'm not stupid. I also recognize that, and I had to have some philosophy for myself. And one of that things is I accepted a long time ago, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. You got something going on, deal with it today. Before you go to bed. You do something, you step on my foot, I've got enough courage to say, ouch. You're on my feet. And so there's a struggle, there's a global struggle. There's a global struggle. They didn't know what they were getting into when they sent us over here. When I went back to Africa, yes, we're back. And we're going to straighten it out. And I probably won't be around to do it, but you're here to do it. Got to straighten it out. It's a global struggle. And you can do it. That's the good part about it. You can do it. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we open it up, so you can ask questions to the panelists, I'm going to bring my beautiful Nigerian sister, Sabi Koye, to give us a selection. But before I do, I want to make sure not just the children in the audience, but some of the younger adults. I mean, Mr. Joe Beasley comes straight off the plantation. Straight off the plantation. UCA. Who knows what slavery means?
It means the 13th Amendment of the Constitution. That's what it means.
As far as in your history books, young gentleman, who knows what slavery means? Call it out.
Slavery is unkind, it's not like today if we still have slavery, then well, the other people that have lighter than them, they can
Come on with it.
they can put us on a cotton field and gangsters whatever they are with us.
I don't think you can explain it any better at 8 years old. Do you guys understand that Brother Beasley, Mr. Joe Beasley, is speaking to you just about that? He's saying at your age, that's what he has to do. That's what he had to do. Do y'all understand what he just said? Yes. Did you all understand that he was talking?
Yes, sir.
You did? Is that fair?
Yes, sir.
Who said, well, you got 20 extra laps? Who said yes, sir? I know you didn't mean that. No. So my point I'm trying to make to the little ones, you all are having a lot of different people that are reaching out, they're talking to you. And this goes for the young adults too, because even though I'm talking to the children, let me just keep it real. There's a lot of younger adults that don't know what it means, or they might know what it says in the books, but you don't do nothing to counter it. One of the biggest missions in teaching the children, can I say it, is also teaching some of their parents.
Amen.
Because we're passing down poison and foolishness and nonsense, and it's reciprocating. After the selection. I felt like it was necessary. I met this sister when I was with Reverend Sharp a while back, and I think she has one of the most beautiful voices. We talked about music, and we're going to get on that in just a minute, but I really wanted to bring this sister down here, and I'm so glad she agreed, because I don't think a number of us, adults included, listen, I like hip-hop, I'm hip-hop to the fullest. I like country, I like blues, I like jazz. I like a variety of music. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody's got to be like that, but everyone should at least have their ears open and experience a good sound when it's in front of your face.
Hi, good evening. How are you guys? Thank you so much for having me. Brother Marcus had invited me to bring in the music aspect here. And before I sing a selection, I just want to share one or two things with you. Of course, I was born and raised in Africa, and I just want you guys to know that you have a great privilege, okay? Living and studying in the United States of America. So make good use of that, okay? And number two, always appreciate your parents. Whatever they tell you to do, even if you don't like it, trust them. They love you to death, okay? And also, when you grow up, never ever give in. Try and also play an instrument. Love music. Instead of going into drugs, go into music. You can get high on music, you know that? I get high on music. And I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a classical opera singer and a jazz singer. And I've been doing this professionally for about 12, 13 years. I've been to the White House to sing. I sang for Obama 2 years ago, George Bush,